We're currently launching a low poly Bentley event on my Discord server, and therefore I have decided to model the Bentley Continental GT from 2018. Before we can compare the Bentley that I have created to the Bentley from my community, we need to start to model the Bentley, and we will start with chapter 1. Setting up the car blueprints. So the first thing that I have done was to type in the dimensions of the car into the scale of the cube so that I could insert the blueprint from the side view and scale this up and align it to the outline of the cube. And after changing some settings of the image, I could duplicate the side view and rotate it into the front view, and I have repeated the same step until all of the views were aligned. And this leads us to chapter 2, the car body. I have inserted a new cube to the scene with Shift and A and have merged the cube with M at the center. And I have moved the single vertex that I have been left with to the middle of the beginning of the hood. And the first step on every car is the same, so I've extruded this vertex to the right side, and with the loop cut function I have added in some more vertices and have aligned them onto the blueprint line. Then I continued with the blueprint line from the right side, and by adding in even more loop cuts with Ctrl and R, I could align the vertices perfectly onto the blueprint line. Extruding the vertices from the right side to the middle has created the first faces inside of the scene, and after filling in the rest of the faces at the top with quads only, the hood of the car was already finished. But at this point it's still a long way to finish the complete car, so I immediately started to work on the front fender of this car. And this part of the car was the hardest in the complete modeling process, as the lines that are leading to the headlights are really hard to see on the blueprint, but even hard parts like this are completely doable with the basic techniques of modeling a car. And if you're at this point interested in the complete modeling process of modeling a 3D low poly car in Blender, you can go ahead and check out my full step-by-step course with the first link in my description. So I have made small steps on the front fender, and I also had to eyeball this blueprint line right here, as it was not visible on the blueprint. And to create the line that goes from the headlight to the side mirror, I have extruded a new vertex line from the right and also from the left side of the first line that I have created, so that after filling in the faces I had the line recreated that I have seen on the reference images. Then to continue on the front fender, I have added in a new circle to the scene and have reduced the vertices, and I have scaled down the cube and have moved it to the place of the headlight. And as this car has two separate headlights, I have of course duplicated the circle and have scaled this down and placed it to the second part of the headlight. But at this point I was only able to create one more face with the geometry of the headlights. And as I needed more geometry to fill in the rest of the faces, I continued with the front bumper of the car, and by placing this vertex right here to the right side, I was able to extrude the vertices to create the front wheel arch. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about how I can fill in the space with as many quads as possible, and at the end it actually came out looking quite decent. And if you want to try this challenge out for yourself, you're of course invited to join my Discord server and start to create your own low poly Bentley. To continue on the front bumper, I have first extruded some easy blueprint lines like the front wheel arch and the bottom part of the front grille, and then I continued on the front side air intake. And with all of these vertices set, I could start to fill in the faces. I finished off the bottom part of the front bumper by extruding the vertices down and scaling them down with the active element, and I finished off the front bumper by filling in these faces. Then I have noticed that I forgot to model the middle line of the hood, so with the knife tool by pressing K, I have cut out this part and have moved up the vertices in the middle. Then I have continued on the last part from the front fender and have extruded the vertices on the blueprint line from the front door, so that I can later go ahead and easily create some car panel gaps. So with the front of the car quite finished, I started to work on the side of the car by extruding the vertices to the back. I traced down the blueprint line for the front door and have aligned the vertices, and from this point right here could easily go ahead and fill in all of the faces for the front door. I continued at the bottom of the front door, but as there also were some chrome parts, I haven't made much of a progress. Therefore I decided to start working on the back fender of this car, and I have first recreated this white part at the back fender, and at this part right here I always start to work on the roof of the car so that I can connect the roof to the C-pillar of this car. To create the roof, I first created the outline on the windows, and for some reason I skipped to create the roof and started to work on the back of the car by tracing down the blueprint line at the back spoiler, and then I have also extruded these vertices right here to create the inner area of this part at the back fender, and by extruding a vertex to the left side and aligning off the other vertices to the blueprint line and adding in a loop cut, I could finish off the trunk area. With the geometry that I got, I could fill in the faces at the top area at the back fender, and after pressing Alt and H to bring back the highlight vertices, I noticed that I have to recreate the roof, and it was really easy to recreate. So back to the back fender, I first extruded this vertex right here and have traced down the blueprint line for the back wheel arch. Then I continued at the back part of the car by tracing down the blueprint for the taillights. For the trunk area, I have extruded these vertices right here all the way to the right side and have aligned them from the side view. And to make this area look good, I have used the relax function from the loop tools. With the back bumper almost done, I started to work on the diffuser of this car, and actually it was really easy to recreate, as I only had to trace down the blueprint line and fill in the faces. And so as easy as that, the diffuser was already done. At this point right here, I have enabled the face orientation, and as some faces were red, I've recalculated them with Shift and N. This car actually had a really special wheel arch that I have never seen on any other car before. So after creating some vertices on the outer and inner area of the wheel arch and filling in these faces, I had to add in one more loop cut between the outer and the inner vertice line and scale the loop cut down on the x-axis. The back wheel arch had the same thing, so I've also recreated this at the back. And although the car body isn't finished at this point right here, we need to move on to the next chapter. Chapter 3. The chrome parts. I started this off really easy at the headlights of the car by duplicating the outline vertices and separating them with P into a new object. And with the start of the chrome parts, we are also starting with the new chapter, which is chapter 4, the materials. So at this point right here, I have added in a basic material for the paint and a shiny material for the chrome parts. I finished off some car body parts at the back so that I could go ahead and create a chrome line at the back. Then by duplicating the outline vertices at the license plate area, I first recreated a chrome frame, and after this of course the license plate area itself. And with the chrome object at this point right here existing, I could finish off the side of the car by first creating the chrome part, then by duplicating the outline vertices creating a black part and finishing it off with the car body. After this I have started to work on the front grille of the car by duplicating the outline vertices, pressing F to fill in the face and then I to inset the face, to be left with the chrome frame. And to create the grille itself, with Shift and A I have added in a new cube to the scene and have modeled out one single segment. Then I have duplicated the single segment once by hand to the top right of the other segment. Then I have added in one array modifier to duplicate all of the segments automatically to the right side, and with one more array modifier also to the bottom. With Shift and A I have added in a lattice to the scene and have aligned the lattice in the object mode to the size of the grille. With Ctrl and P I have set the parent of the grille to the lattice, and with this I could move the vertices from the lattice to align the grille to the grille frame. Once I was done aligning the grille, I could enable the lattice modifier and delete all of the vertices that were sticking through the car body, and at the end the grille came out looking really decent. I closed up the holes at the front bumper by duplicating the outline vertices and filling in the faces and adding in the black parts material to them. And at this point right here, we're starting with chapter 5, the details. The first detail that I wanted to add in is a new brand logo, and I've made a basic new logo by adding in a circle and extruding the vertices on the right side. Then to get the logo onto the hood, I have enabled the face project and projected the faces onto the hood. And by adding in the materials, the logo came out looking very clean at the end. One more chrome part that I had to add in is the frame for the windows at the side, and on this car right here also the taillights had a chrome frame, so I also started to work on the frame right here. And after finishing off the frame I started to work on some new parts, which leads us to chapter 6, the windows. As I've already recreated the chrome frame for the side windows, I started to recreate the black pillars right here, and after this I have added in the window itself. And after adding in a new material for the windows, I have also recreated the windshield of this car. And after creating the windshield, I of course went ahead and created the back window. But for this, I first had to model the area for the front brake light, and with the outline vertices I could fill in the faces for the back window. Then by using the knife tool I have also cut out the black area at the frame of the windows, and with the new material that I have added in, this was looking really good. I then finished off the back diffuser by first adding in all of the faces and giving them the black parts material. Then I have added in a new cylinder to the scene and have scaled it down to the size of the exhaust. and with a boolean modifier I have cut out the hole for the exhaust itself, and of course I've created the exhaust. By duplicating off the outline vertices, I was able to create the underbody of the car. Then I have copy and pasted the logo from the front to the back, and I have added in a new text object to give the car a new name. And after changing some settings of the text object, the back came out looking really sick at the end. To make the back look even better, I've also added in the back license plate. So at this point right here, we're almost done with the complete car. The only big things that are left are the headlights and taillights and the wheels. And we will go ahead and finish off these parts in the next episode, and then we will also compare the results of the community. If you're at this point interested in how to create a complete low poly car for yourself, you can go ahead and check out my full step-by-step beginner course with the first link in my description. Don't forget to join my Discord server so that you do not miss any new events. My kings and queens, I wish you all the best for the future, and we will see us in the next video.